My name is Doni Wulandana, and originally I'm from Indonesia. I came here in '93 in University of Pittsburgh as a mechanical engineering grad student in the same as PhD. And then I had some time in Georgia Tech as well in the Ohio, Wright State University in Ohio, basically, before I came here as an assistant professor in mechanical engineering of SUNY New Paltz. I'm very delighted because it was it's a new program. I only had like 9 or 10 students at the time when I came here, but now we had too many already. We have 50 or something students, so it's very nice. It's been very nice experience so far. The town that I grew up is already a city. The one engineering school I really want to go was planology and or either planology or architecture. But it was to be honest, it was expensive. The architecture was a very expensive. My mom was already, how can you? I don't think you can afford the table, the drawing table, and so okay, let me think about something else. And I was thinking, and then I moved to civil engineering. So my bachelor actually was civil engineering, not mechanical. The civil engineering is basically all of the object around still basically not moving. When I was small, my house is we are poor, very poor family. My dad actually was a judge, but we were very poor. The roof is always leaking. Whenever we got rain, and the roof is always leaking, and I always had to fix the roof whenever it get dry. And I was wondering, what how on earth this water can seep into the ceiling and all of this phenomenon. Then I really want to get really interested in water since then. And when I was in civil engineering, finally I didn't go into the water resources. So in civil engineering, there is big sector is called water resources, but I didn't. I don't know why I was not so interested in going there, even though there's a big money actually. But there is a professor from he just graduated from University of Michigan, taught us hydrodynamics. Very interesting phenomenon. On he was asking about the what happened when the air is passing through a tennis ball. What's different between tennis ball, golf ball, and ping pong ball? Why they are so different, in the shape and not the shape, but the skin of it. Then I started to think, wow, this is very interesting. This is a very interesting subject. But of course, civil was not so much into that. So when I got into the unexpected opportunity to study in this country, I was like so happy because at the same time, it's so happy and nervous at the same time. Actually, yes, I got to really wanted to study fluid mechanics now and when I got here and met the professor, it turns out the field is so huge, and then it was really an eye opening when I got into Pittsburgh and got a chance to see the library, see all of those books and all of these collections of journals and papers. Amazing, amazing. So that's a really, oh my, that's the thing that I kept telling my kids about this. You're so lucky
Yeah.
that to be here. That apparatus actually was built by senior students. Amazingly, I was so lucky to have his name is Matthew. He's very good in welding and construction. He was been working in maintaining cars basically of someone. So we built this together. I copied this actually from a friend of mine who had a commercially built water tank like this. The actual commercial tank was maybe 40,000 something. Yeah, 40,000 at least. And my school, this school definitely is too expensive for that. So we built this, and I got sponsorship from a generous sponsorship from Vibration Institute. The Vibration Institute gave money for research in the area of vibration actually. Objective of this apparatus, as you can see, is we wanted to observe the phenomenon of fluid, when it's passing through or not passing through, but pass by an object. But essentially, the focus can be on the object itself that is being exposed to fluid flow, or the flow itself that when exposed to some kind of obstacles. So the apparatus can serve either way. The apparatus is very flexible in the sense that my intent was to have students design objects that would either move, that typically would be called a turbine, that would spin, for example. Okay, so stuff like this. This is you can see it's traditionally known as water wheel object that is also some kind of turbine, but it's bladeless, we call it. It doesn't have blades on it. Phenomenon of object passed by these exposed to the airflow is very ubiquitous. I mean, it's everywhere. It's we don't realize it. We right now each of us are exposed to water of airflow. Actually, you won't believe it that there's a lot of research since long time back on just about this object. About this phenomenon itself. It's still open in so many different directions. Nowadays, specifically nowadays, because we are exploring many different ways of harnessing energy from either airflow or water flow. So different kind of turbines also is being explored all the time. For the ocean, there's still a lot of work needs to be done. The wave, the tidal, the current underneath the sea is still a lot of homework. So it's yeah, it's we out there if you explore this area, it's a lot of homework. I call it homework, sir. Many times I pass by creeks, small creeks. Those are really amazing. This is one that is nearby, just walking distance from my home. It's always interesting to see how is this flowing of water from place to place and interacting with um, floating objects, for example, leaves and flowers, and passing by rocks. And then also the important thing is sedimentations. What is going on with sedimentations with sands and debris, basically. Okay. And then for young kids, for young students, it's not far away, to observe this. At home, for example, you can also see what's going on with the when we have a water in our sink, and then we close the sink for we block the sink, and we have water and open it up, and you see this kind of vortex. People just pass by that. Never, rarely that they would think about it, So, and then what's going on if we change something about it? And the creek, for example, what happened if you change the course of it? So the water will do something. This is a close friend of mine who's graduated from University of Michigan, talking about the landslides. A lot of landslides going on in my country nowadays, and the effect on structures, because civil engineering. And yeah, whenever we build something, bridges or a dam or something, that would actually same thing as what we do with any nature. We basically kind of disturb them. So we have to be somewhat, taking permissions or something, in order to do that. I mean, we have to understand when at some point, for example, something happens, because we really don't know much actually. My friend told me that's a lot of data collected, and yet it's still not enough to predict, long-term effect on this. It's amazing, you learn about climate change and the effect of that. Recently, a friend of mine just posted a rain that is keep dropping in my country. The amount of rain has been so much different in this year, meaning that there's a lot of water that is in the sky right now. So it's the effect of this. So then the green energy, the green technology that we are trying to develop here is trying to reduce the amount of consumption of fossil fuel, basically, right? So that's what we're trying to do. And water is still number one right now, resources of renewable energy. Water and the amount of dam that we have here is still big, and the wind is catching up. Like in my country, for example, the wind energy is still, I just had a talk a couple of days ago with people who are developing the wind energy, and it's not so attractive yet. I mean, that's the way Let me put it that way. Right now, there's a lot of competition. This energy is a very interesting subject. To be honest with you, technologically, so much technology has been matured in this. For example, you can see we can always harness the energy from wind, and the water has been going on for a long time. So much technology that's already been matured. So from the technology point of view, actually we have enough technology to harness. Okay, the problem is there is competitions, between the I don't want to call it us and them, but between the green one and the non-renewable. With in my country, for example, the coal is still cheap, and the coal is very difficult to compete with coal. The amount of coal is abundant. It's so much. Many people do not really have strong commitment, and they understand the effect of it, but still, it's, you have to have a very strong will to go into this area.